Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by challenging a belief that has seduced countless hearts: the search for the secret to success. Every day, books, seminars, and videos promise a magical formula, a hidden key that unlocks the doors of wealth, fame, or achievement. And yet the world is filled with those who have chased these secrets, only to discover emptiness, frustration, or fleeting victories. Success is not a mystery to be cracked, it is a path to be walked. It is not found in clever tricks or sudden bursts of fortune, but in the steady, often unseen work of character, wisdom, and perseverance. Too many spend their lives in relentless pursuit of a shortcut, never realizing that the foundation of genuine success is built quietly, step by step, through choices that align with timeless principles. Tonight, we are going to explore why abandoning the frantic search for the secret opens the door to true achievement, fulfillment, and impact. Because when you stop chasing illusions, you finally begin to encounter the truths that actually shape a life of lasting significance. Most people approach life as though success is a prize hidden behind a curtain, waiting for them to pull the right lever or discover the perfect formula. They are constantly searching, reading, attending seminars, and following every new fad, hoping to stumble across a magical key that will unlock wealth, influence, or personal fulfillment. Yet the truth is far simpler and far more profound. Success is not a secret to be uncovered. It is a journey to be undertaken. It is the product of deliberate, consistent action, the accumulation of small, intentional choices made over time, rather than the result of a single, dramatic breakthrough. Those who grasp this principle understand that every step along the way matters. Every habit, every decision, and every encounter contributes to the trajectory of their life. There are no shortcuts that replace the need for effort, wisdom, and persistence. The allure of a shortcut is strong because it promises instant gratification. But the reality is that lasting success demands endurance and commitment. It is shaped not by luck or external circumstances, but by a consistent application of principles and a willingness to navigate the ordinary, sometimes monotonous, processes that actually build lasting achievement. This journey is not always glamorous. It is often marked by setbacks, frustration, and doubt. Yet it is precisely through these trials that character is formed, skills are refined, and wisdom is earned. The journey itself transforms the individual, preparing them not only to reach goals, but to sustain them. Those who pursue shortcuts frequently find that even if they achieve a goal, it is fragile, temporary, or hollow, because it was not accompanied by the growth and development necessary to truly handle success. Real success requires patience. It requires understanding that each season has its purpose, and each stage of life demands different attention and effort. It requires a long-term perspective, seeing beyond immediate gains to the broader trajectory of a life lived intentionally. The journey is also instructive. Failures teach lessons that no formula could convey, setbacks reveal weaknesses that no guidebook could anticipate, and consistent effort cultivates discipline that no inspiration alone can provide. In the end, the journey is inseparable from the destination. The value of success is inseparable from the growth and transformation it produces in the person who attains it. Recognizing success as a journey shifts the focus from seeking magic to embracing responsibility. It shifts the energy from chasing illusions to engaging in practical, meaningful actions. It helps one prioritize personal development, relationships, and integrity over superficial measures of achievement. Those who internalize this truth begin to see life differently. They understand that every day, every decision, and every interaction is a step along the path, and they learn to take each step with purpose, diligence, and awareness. This perspective replaces anxiety with confidence, impatience with persistence, and frustration with hope. When you embrace the journey, you stop wasting your life searching for hidden keys and begin living in a way that naturally produces success, fulfillment, and significance. The journey itself becomes the teacher, and the process becomes the reward, leading to an authentic and lasting achievement that no shortcut could ever deliver. Too many people believe that success is determined by circumstances, by who they know, where they are born, or the opportunities that happen to cross their path. They imagine that if only their environment were different, if only they had access to the right connections or the perfect timing, they would finally achieve what they desire. While circumstances can influence the journey, they are never the ultimate determinant of lasting success. What truly matters is character. Character is the internal compass that guides decisions, shapes behavior, and influences how one responds to both adversity and opportunity. It is the unseen force that determines whether a person will persevere when circumstances are difficult or falter when they are easy. A strong character acts as a stabilizing anchor, enabling one to navigate challenges with integrity, patience, and wisdom. Without character, even the most favorable circumstances can lead to failure, corruption, or emptiness, because the person is not equipped to handle the responsibilities and temptations that accompany success. Conversely, someone with integrity, humility, and discipline can flourish even in challenging environments, because their choices are guided by principles rather than fleeting conditions. Character manifests in small, everyday actions: the willingness to do what is right even when no one is watching, the discipline to remain consistent despite discouragement, and the humility to learn from mistakes rather than blaming external forces. It shows up in relationships, in work ethic, in the ability to keep promises and maintain trust. Those who cultivate character understand that circumstances are often beyond control, but personal integrity is always within reach. The most influential leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators are remembered not merely for their achievements, but for the moral fiber and steadfastness that carried them through trials. Character also shapes resilience. Life is inherently unpredictable, and challenges will inevitably arise. Circumstances may fluctuate, markets may collapse, opportunities may vanish, yet character equips an individual to endure, adapt, and ultimately thrive despite setbacks. It transforms obstacles into lessons, difficulties into growth, and failures into wisdom. By prioritizing character over circumstance, a person aligns their life with enduring principles rather than transient situations. This mindset shifts the focus from blaming the world to improving oneself, from waiting for fortune to actively cultivating qualities that create reliable and lasting success. It also allows one to influence circumstances rather than be dominated by them. Integrity, honesty, diligence, and perseverance have a multiplying effect. They open doors, attract trust, and generate opportunities that circumstances alone cannot provide. In truth, the stories of history are filled with individuals who triumphed not because their circumstances were perfect, but because their character was unwavering. They understood that character is the foundation upon which lasting success is built, and without it, even the most favorable conditions cannot sustain achievement. By investing in character, a person creates an internal framework that empowers consistent action, moral discernment, and purposeful living. This principle applies in every area of life: relationships, business, education, and personal development. When you choose character over circumstance, you step off the endless treadmill of blaming, comparing, and chasing luck, and you begin to build a life of integrity, impact, and true success. In the end, circumstances are temporary, unpredictable, and often uncontrollable, but character endures. It is the element that determines whether the life you build is genuine, sustainable, and meaningful, and it is the element that ultimately defines the kind of success that matters most. Too many people wander through life as though success is measured by external markers, titles, money, or recognition, without ever stopping to ask the deeper question, why am I here? Without purpose, even accomplishments that seem impressive on the surface feel hollow, leaving a lingering emptiness that no achievement can fill. Purpose is the compass that directs every decision, shapes every action, and gives meaning to the journey. When a person understands their purpose, life ceases to be a series of random pursuits, and every choice begins to align with a larger, more significant goal. Purpose provides clarity in the midst of confusion, steadiness when challenges arise, and direction when opportunities abound. Without it, even the best opportunities can lead to distraction or regret, because actions taken without intention rarely yield fulfillment. Purpose is not simply about ambition or desire. It is about understanding one's unique contribution, the intersection of talent, passion, and the needs of the world. It is the internal drive that keeps someone moving forward when circumstances are discouraging, and it gives resilience when setbacks threaten to derail progress. Those who pursue success without purpose are often at the mercy of trends, opinions, or external validation. They chase what seems attractive in the moment, only to find that it lacks lasting satisfaction. Purpose, however, acts as a guiding principle that keeps a person focused on what truly matters. filtering out distractions and aligning effort with significance. It shapes priorities, helping individuals say no to things that may seem appealing but do not advance the greater mission of their life. Purpose also transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Tasks that might otherwise seem mundane gain weight and importance because they contribute to a larger, meaningful vision. Every moment, every effort, and every sacrifice becomes part of a coherent whole, a mosaic of intentional living that produces fulfillment and impact. Moreover, purpose attracts resources, opportunities, and allies. When people act with clarity of vision and commitment to meaningful goals, they naturally inspire others, drawing support, collaboration, and mentorship that amplify their efforts. In contrast, a life without purpose may appear busy or active, but it rarely achieves enduring results. Purpose gives life direction and energy. It turns obstacles into opportunities and failures into lessons. It provides a standard against which to measure choices, ensuring that success is not defined merely by outcomes, but by alignment with one's deeper calling. Ultimately, understanding purpose is the difference between a life that is lived reactively, chasing what is convenient or popular, and a life that is lived intentionally, with deliberate steps toward a meaningful destination. Purpose is what sustains a person through the long journey of success, providing both motivation and perspective. It answers the question of why we endure, why we sacrifice, and why we strive, giving significance to the struggle and direction to the ambition. To live without purpose is to drift. To live with purpose is to navigate life with a clear compass, charting a course that aligns talent, effort, and opportunity with meaning. Success pursued without purpose is fragile and fleeting, but success anchored in purpose is resilient, fulfilling, and transformative, producing a life that not only achieves, but also matters. In the pursuit of success, there is a common temptation to seek shortcuts, clever strategies, or quick fixes that promise rapid results. People often believe that success can be engineered with a formula, a trick, or a set of techniques that bypass the hard work of learning and personal growth. Yet these approaches are ultimately superficial. True and lasting success is not built on cleverness alone. It is built on wisdom. Wisdom is the understanding of principles, the ability to see beyond the immediate, and the discernment to make decisions that produce enduring results. Tricks may provide temporary advantage, but they are fragile, fleeting, and dependent on circumstances remaining favorable. Wisdom, however, equips a person to navigate any situation with insight, to turn challenges into opportunities, and to make choices that honor long-term goals rather than short-term desires. Wisdom is cultivated through experience, reflection, study, and observation. It is not something purchased or borrowed. It is developed over time as a person engages with life intentionally, learns from mistakes, and applies understanding in practical ways. While shortcuts might seem appealing, they often lead to unexpected consequences because they bypass the very lessons that provide stability and sustainability. Wisdom, in contrast, enables one to anticipate consequences, to weigh risks, and to act with discernment. Those who prioritize wisdom over tricks recognize that knowledge alone is insufficient. It must be coupled with judgment, patience, and insight. They understand that immediate gratification often undermines long-term goals, and that the temptation to take a shortcut is frequently the path to failure. Wisdom also shapes relationships. A person who acts wisely gains trust, earns respect, and influences others positively. In contrast, one who relies on manipulative strategies may achieve temporary gains, but eventually their credibility and opportunities erode. The value of wisdom extends to personal character and integrity. It fosters humility, as it recognizes the limitations of knowledge and the complexity of life. It nurtures discernment as it distinguishes between what is essential and what is trivial. It cultivates resilience as it enables one to respond thoughtfully to setbacks rather than reacting impulsively or making hasty decisions. In the larger context of success, wisdom functions as a guiding light. It ensures that actions are aligned with enduring principles, that achievements are sustainable, and that goals are pursued in a manner consistent with both moral integrity and practical reality. Success built on tricks may be impressive in appearance, but it is brittle, easily shattered by changing circumstances, competition, or unforeseen challenges. Wisdom, on the other hand, creates a foundation that can weather storms, adapt to change, and grow over time. Those who understand this principle make choices that may appear slower or less flashy in the short term, but they accumulate advantages that compound over time, producing results that are both substantial and lasting. To embrace wisdom over tricks is to reject the illusion of instant success and to commit to a path of disciplined learning, thoughtful action, and principled living. It is to recognize that life does not reward cunning alone, but those who combine knowledge with insight, experience with judgment, and action with understanding. In the end, wisdom transforms effort into achievement, challenges into growth, and ambition into meaningful success, providing a pathway that no shortcut or clever trick could ever replace. Success is rarely instantaneous. It is seldom the result of a single moment of brilliance or a lucky opportunity that falls into one's lap. Rather, it is the outcome of endurance and perseverance, the ability to continue pressing forward even when progress seems slow, obstacles appear insurmountable, and results are not immediately visible. Endurance is the strength to remain steadfast in the face of trials, while perseverance is the commitment to persist despite difficulties, discouragement, or repeated failures. These qualities distinguish those who achieve lasting success from those who falter after early promise. Life will inevitably present challenges, unexpected setbacks, failures, opposition, and hardships that test resolve. The difference between temporary success and enduring achievement lies not in the absence of obstacles, but in the ability to endure them and persevere with intentional effort. Endurance and perseverance cultivate resilience, shaping character and deepening wisdom. Every trial endured becomes a lesson in patience, humility, and strategy. Every obstacle overcome strengthens the individual, building confidence and competence that cannot be gained through shortcuts or fleeting advantages. Perseverance is not blind stubbornness. It is a disciplined, purposeful commitment to a long-term vision, guided by principles and informed by experience. It requires the willingness to adjust methods, learn from mistakes, and continue moving forward even when immediate results are disappointing. Many people abandon their goals prematurely because they expect instant results or underestimate the time, effort, and persistence required. Yet the greatest achievements often come to those who are willing to endure longer, work harder, and remain committed when others give up. Endurance is also closely tied to hope and faith, the understanding that present struggles do not define the final outcome. Those who persevere trust that effort invested with consistency and integrity will eventually produce results, even if the path is slow and the journey difficult. Perseverance strengthens relationships as well. It demonstrates reliability, loyalty, and the ability to follow through, qualities that inspire trust and attract support from others. In business, personal development, or leadership, those who endure are recognized not only for results, but also for their unwavering commitment and reliability. Moreover, endurance and perseverance cultivate an inner strength that allows individuals to confront uncertainty without fear, take calculated risks, and pursue meaningful goals with confidence. Success built without perseverance is fragile, easily disrupted by challenges or setbacks. Those who rely solely on talent, opportunity, or luck often fail to sustain achievement because they lack the persistence to maintain progress when circumstances turn difficult. In contrast, individuals who embrace endurance and perseverance develop a momentum that carries them forward, turning obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into lessons. The cumulative effect of consistent effort over time is far more powerful than any temporary advantage or shortcut. Endurance transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement, and perseverance turns intention into reality. Those who cultivate these qualities understand that the journey itself is part of the reward. They learn to find satisfaction not only in reaching the goal, but in the process of growth, mastery, and self-discovery that occurs along the way. In the final analysis, endurance and perseverance are the bedrock of true success. They provide the stamina to remain committed to principles, the fortitude to weather life's inevitable storms, and the courage to continue when hope seems distant. Success is not simply reaching a destination, it is the strength to remain the course, the will to keep moving, and the discipline to keep building, even when the journey is long and the outcome uncertain. Those who embrace endurance and perseverance discover a power that outlasts fortune, outshines talent, and ultimately defines what it means to achieve meaningful, lasting success. No person achieves lasting success in isolation. The environment in which we live, work, and interact has a profound influence on the trajectory of our lives. From the people we associate with to the ideas we expose ourselves to, our surroundings shape our habits, our mindset, and ultimately, the results we achieve. Too often, individuals underestimate the subtle but persistent effects of environment, believing that personal willpower alone is sufficient to overcome every challenge. While determination and discipline are essential, the influence of environment can either amplify success or sabotage it. Those who intentionally surround themselves with positive influences, mentors, and disciplined peers gain an advantage that no amount of talent or effort can fully replicate on its own. Conversely, environments filled with negativity, dishonesty, or mediocrity exert a slow but steady drag, eroding motivation, distorting judgment, and limiting potential. The principle is simple. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. Your ideas, habits, and attitudes are shaped by those around you, often unconsciously, and the environment either reinforces your values and goals or undermines them. Beyond people, the physical and intellectual environment also matters. Access to knowledge, exposure to culture, and immersion in challenges that stretch abilities all contribute to growth and preparation for success. Conversely, environments that promote comfort without challenge, distractions without focus, or misinformation without discernment leave a person unprepared to achieve meaningful results. Choosing the right environment requires intentionality. It means seeking out mentors who model integrity and skill, peers who encourage accountability and effort, and spaces that cultivate learning, creativity, and discipline. It also requires the courage to distance oneself from negative influences that hinder growth, even when doing so is uncomfortable or socially inconvenient. Influence is cumulative. Small, daily interactions, habits, and exposures shape thoughts, decisions, and actions over time. The person who consistently immerses themselves in excellence through books, discussions, communities, and experiences begins to adopt the principles, mindset, and behaviors of those who exemplify success. The person who passively absorbs mediocrity or toxicity finds their potential limited, not by lack of talent, but by the erosion of focus, belief, and character. Environment also affects resilience and response to challenges. When surrounded by wise, disciplined, and supportive individuals, a person is better equipped to persevere through adversity, seek guidance, and maintain perspective. In contrast, a negative or unprincipled environment amplifies discouragement, spreads misinformation, and fosters despair. Those who understand the power of environment act with foresight, curating their influences as carefully as they pursue skills or knowledge. They recognize that success is not merely a matter of effort or ability, but also of positioning oneself in contexts that reinforce growth, integrity, and vision. Ultimately, environment is both a mirror and a magnet. It reflects the values and habits that dominate your life, while also attracting opportunities, people, and resources that align with your trajectory. By cultivating an environment rich in wisdom, integrity, discipline, and encouragement, a person maximizes the likelihood of achieving lasting success. By neglecting this principle, no amount of talent, effort, or desire can fully compensate. The journey toward meaningful accomplishment is inseparable from the context in which it occurs. Influence is constant, cumulative, and often invisible, yet it shapes outcomes in profound ways. Those who recognize and harness the power of environment do more than adapt. They strategically position themselves for growth, resilience, and enduring achievement, transforming surroundings into allies rather than obstacles on the path to success. One of the most reliable principles governing success is the law of sowing and reaping. Every action, decision, and effort planted today produces a harvest tomorrow. Many people fail to recognize this principle because they expect immediate results or focus only on outcomes rather than the process that leads to them. Yet, the truth is simple. The quality of the harvest is determined by the quality of the seed and the diligence with which it is sown. If you plant carelessly, neglect the soil, or refuse to nurture what you have invested in, the results will be weak, sparse, or disappointing. If, however, you act with foresight, consistency, and patience, the harvest will reflect your investment, effort, and integrity. This law applies universally to personal growth, relationships, career development, financial stewardship, and character formation. You cannot sow dishonesty, laziness, or impulsivity and expect abundance, stability, or fulfillment in return. Likewise, you cannot invest time, effort, and discipline and hope for failure. The seeds you plant inevitably bear fruit. Many pursue success in a haphazard manner, hoping for sudden windfalls or miraculous breakthroughs, ignoring the steady, faithful work that produces reliable results. Life rarely rewards sporadic effort or shortcuts in a lasting way. Understanding the law of sowing and reaping transforms the way a person approaches daily choices. Every decision becomes an opportunity to invest wisely, every action a seed for the future. It encourages long-term thinking over immediate gratification, discipline over impulsiveness, and integrity over convenience. Sowing is not always glamorous. It often requires unseen effort, sacrifice, and patience. Yet those who embrace this principle understand that nothing worthwhile is produced without deliberate investment and faithful labor. The timing of the harvest is also an important aspect of this law. Seeds require time to grow. They must endure seasons of uncertainty, nurture, and protection before they yield fruit. Similarly, efforts and investments in life may not produce immediate recognition or reward. Those who give up too early or grow impatient fail to reap what they have sown. Perseverance and trust in the process are therefore essential. The law of sowing and reaping also highlights responsibility. One cannot blame circumstances, luck, or others for a poor harvest if the seeds were poorly chosen or neglected. Likewise, success is rarely accidental. It is the natural outcome of consistent, intentional action aligned with principle and purpose. Beyond personal effort, this principle extends to relationships and influence. Acts of kindness, teaching, mentorship, and service plant seeds that may take years to mature, yet they produce generational impact. Conversely, destructive words, laziness, or neglect yield negative consequences, often beyond what is immediately visible. Recognizing this law fosters wisdom, patience, and accountability. It encourages individuals to think beyond immediate gratification, to invest in what truly matters, and to align actions with enduring principles rather than transient desires. The law of sowing and reaping is a reminder that success is cumulative, rooted in action, and inseparable from the choices we make daily. It teaches that there are no shortcuts to meaningful achievement, because every outcome is the result of previous investment, discipline, and intention. Those who embrace this principle learn to live deliberately, act with integrity, and persist faithfully, knowing that their efforts, though unseen at times, are producing a harvest that will inevitably come to fruition. Ultimately, understanding this law empowers a person to take control of their life. By planting seeds of wisdom, character, perseverance, and purposeful action, they set the stage for a future marked by achievement, fulfillment, and significance that cannot be shaken by luck, circumstance, or fleeting trends.